Look closely at the timestamp 1402 of episode 7 of Survivor 49. Not at Rizo Velovic, but at the subtle, almost imperceptible flicker in Shannon's eyes right after Jeff Probst reads the final vote. It's a micro-expression, a barely there shift in gaze towards the camera that screams, "I know something you don't." That single, fleeting moment isn't just a coincidence, it's a crack in the carefully constructed facade of Survivor 49, a tiny tear in the fabric of what they want you to believe. This isn't just a game being played on an island, it's a narrative being meticulously crafted in an editing bay, and Rizgod, Velovic is their ultimate puppet. We're going to expose how the production is artificially inflating his legendary status, deliberately scrubbing away his strategic missteps to engineer hype for his preordained return in season 50, all while distorting the raw reality of what truly happened. The first major red flag emerges far earlier, in episode 4, during the chaotic lead-up to the tribal council where the power seemed to be shifting wildly. The official edit, as presented to us, paints Rizo as a calm, collected puppet master, pulling strings from the shadows. He's shown in confessional after confessional, confidently stating, "I've got the numbers, I know exactly what's happening." Yet, when you meticulously cross-reference these confident declarations with the actual camp scenes preceding that vote, a glaring inconsistency screams for attention. At timestamp 045, we see Rizo casually napping under a palm tree while frantic discussions about splitting votes and blindsiding targets are happening mere feet away. We see other players, like the notoriously gossipy Brenda, actively excluding Rizo from critical huddles, whispering intently about who to target next. The camera chooses to linger on Rizo's seemingly serene slumber, reinforcing the Rizgod narrative of effortless control. But the reality, when pieced together from unedited snippets floating around the deepest corners of Reddit's r/Survivor Ponderosa, suggests a player far more out of the loop than the edit would have you believe. Why would a strategic mastermind be so conspicuously absent from the most crucial strategic conversations? The Rizgod narrative demands an illusion of omnipresence, an effortless command over the game. But the visual evidence, when juxtaposed, suggests a player who, at best, was a beneficiary of circumstances, or at worst, actively ignored. The narrative is already diverging from reality. Now, let's dive into the core of the deception, the infamous Shannon vote in episode 7, the moment that supposedly cemented Rizo's control. This is where the production's manipulation becomes almost brazenly evident. Remember the chaos before tribal? The frantic scramble, the last-minute whispers? The edit frames Rizo's supposed masterstroke as him allowing Shannon's blindside to happen, a testament to his supreme strategic flexibility. But look closer, frame by frame. At 3:15, notice the body language in the pre-tribal scramble. Rizo is always slightly on the periphery, rarely at the center of the urgent discussions. The camera often cuts away from him just as a crucial piece of information is being exchanged among other players. This isn't accidental, it's a deliberate editing choice to maintain the illusion of his knowledge without actually showing him gaining that knowledge. The music swells, the dramatic cuts accelerate, creating a sense of impending strategic genius from Rizo, yet his direct involvement in the planning seems eerily absent. Then, at 5:20, observe Rizo's reaction shot when Jeff Probst reads the first vote for Shannon. His eyes widen, his jaw ever so slightly drops. It's a genuine reaction of surprise, not the calm, knowing smirk of someone who allowed a vote to happen. Compare this to his confident confessionals where he claims full authorship of the move. The discrepancy is jarring. The confessionals, almost certainly filmed after the tribal council and with the benefit of hindsight, or perhaps, producer guidance, paint a picture that directly contradicts his on-screen reaction. This is the essence of the Rizgod edit, retroactively assigning strategic brilliance to a player who, in the moment, was genuinely blindsided. Furthermore, consider the aftermath at 7:40. In the usual Survivor narrative, the architect of a blindside would be celebrating, cementing alliances, taking credit. Rizo, however, is shown receiving effusive praise from players like Ben and Carla, who laud him for his brilliant move. But Rizo's responses are curiously muted, almost deflecting. He accepts the praise, but he doesn't actively own the move in a way a true strategist would. This subtle avoidance, captured in these post-tribal interactions, speaks volumes. It's as if he's being given the credit by his peers, a narrative reinforced by the editing, rather than having genuinely earned it through his own strategic maneuvering. The production is effectively using the other players to build Rizo's legend for him. At 9:10, let's look at the music. The heroic, triumphant score that accompanies Rizo's segments after the Shannon vote is specifically chosen to elevate his status. It's the same kind of score reserved for challenge beasts or genuine strategic masterminds who control the game. This auditory cue is a powerful, subliminal tool. It tells the audience, without a single word, that Rizo is a force to be reckoned with, a strategic genius. It's an emotional manipulation designed to make you feel that Rizo is in charge, even when the visual evidence of his actual gameplay is thin. Finally, at 11:30, notice the complete absence of any mistake or misplay from Rizo in the entire edit. Every time he faces a strategic hurdle, the narrative pivots to showcase his resilience or his charm as the solution. Other players get the villain edit, the goat edit, the incompetent edit. Rizo gets the Rizgod edit, a sanitized, perfected version of his gameplay that conveniently excises any moments where he might have been clueless, outmaneuvered, or simply lucky. This isn't just selective editing, it's a full-blown narrative construction, designed to cultivate a fan favorite who will generate maximum buzz for his already confirmed return in Season 50. So, what does this all mean for Survivor 49? It means you're watching a game, yes, but you're also watching a meticulously crafted marketing campaign. The Rizgod phenomenon isn't organic, it's engineered. The inconsistencies we've highlighted, the visual proof of Rizo's genuine surprise during the Shannon vote, his peripheral involvement in crucial strategic discussions, and the deliberate sanitization of his gameplay, all point to a production team actively shaping a narrative to serve their long-term franchising goals. This isn't just about Rizo, it's about the integrity of the game itself. When the edit becomes so overtly manipulative, when the truth of the island is bent to fit a predetermined storyline for future seasons, it fundamentally changes the viewing experience. We're not watching the purest form of Survivor, we're watching a curated advertisement. Keep an eye on the edit in the coming weeks. Every confessional, every reaction shot, every subtle musical cue, it's all part of the larger strategic narrative that the production is trying to sell. The real strategist this season isn't on the beach, it's in the editing bay.